Okay, so real talk. You've never really seen yourself as like the smart one. Maybe school wasn't your thing, maybe your grades were just okay, maybe at some point somebody, a teacher, a parent, whoever, made you feel like you just weren't that quick. But here's what's actually wild. The fact that you're even questioning your own intelligence right now, that alone is honestly one of the clearest signs of a genuinely intelligent mind. And by the time this video is done, you're gonna look back at your whole life and realize the signs were always there. You just didn't know what you were looking at. Sign number one, you talk to yourself. Like, actually talk to yourself. Not just once in a while, like regularly, in the shower, in the car, while you're making food, sometimes in public, and then you immediately look around hoping absolutely nobody just saw that. Yeah, that. Here's the wild part, though. Psychologists at Bangor University found that people who talk to themselves out loud actually perform way better on tasks that need focus and mental control, like significantly better. Talking to yourself is literally your brain processing information at a higher level than people who just think quietly. So you're not weird, you're not crazy, you're not broken. You're literally running an advanced internal operating system that occasionally needs to speak out loud just to keep up with itself. You're welcome. Sign number two, you worry, like a lot, about everything, about stuff that hasn't even happened yet, about stuff that will probably never happen, about that one thing you said in 2014 that randomly hits you at 2 a.m. for absolutely no reason, and you just lie there like, why did I say that? Why? Why did I say that? We've all been there. Don't even try to lie. But here's what's actually going on underneath all of that, and this one genuinely surprised me when I found it. Psychologists at Lakehead University found a direct link between high verbal intelligence and the tendency to worry and overthink, like a real, measurable scientific link. The smarter you are, the more scenarios your brain can generate. And the more scenarios your brain can generate, the more things there are to stress about. So your anxiety isn't a character flaw. It isn't weakness. It isn't something broken inside you. It's literally your brain running simulations that most people's brains honestly just aren't powerful enough to create. You're basically running too many browser tabs at once. And smart people always have too many tabs open, mentally and literally. Don't even try to deny it. Sign number three, you overthink everything, like every single decision, every conversation, every possible outcome of every possible scenario before it even happens. You've had full-blown arguments in your head with people that never actually happened in real life. You've planned out conversations so thoroughly that when they finally happen, you already know exactly how they're going to end. And then they don't end that way. And that low-key bothers you way more than it should. Here's what that actually is, though, and honestly, this reframe hit different for me. Psychologists call it hyper-vigilant thinking, and research shows it's directly linked to high general intelligence. Like your brain is literally built different. It's constantly running risk assessments, outcome predictions, and social simulations that most people's brains genuinely don't even attempt. The issue was never that you think too much. The issue is that nobody ever told you that thinking this deeply is actually a gift. It just doesn't feel like one when it's 3 a.m. and your brain absolutely refuses to shut off. But for real though, that same brain that keeps you up at night overthinking every possible scenario, that's the exact same brain that solves problems other people can't even see coming. Same brain, different context. Sign number four, you are really hard on yourself. Like, really, really hard. You hold yourself to standards that are honestly almost impossible. You notice every single mistake you make. You replay conversations in your head for days, sometimes weeks, looking for what you could have said differently, what you should have done better. And here's the thing that gets me. You would never hold anyone else to that same standard. Ever. Not even close. But yourself, absolutely zero mercy. Sound familiar? Okay, so psychologists actually have a name for this. They call it intellectual humility combined with high self-awareness. And no cap, it is one of the strongest markers of genuine intelligence that researchers have ever identified. Like, ever. The smartest people almost always underestimate their own intelligence. Meanwhile, less capable people almost always overestimate theirs. This is called the Dunning-Kruger effect, and what it actually means in real life is this. The fact that you doubt yourself is literally scientific proof that you probably shouldn't be doubting yourself. The people who are absolutely certain they're the smartest person in the room almost never are. The people quietly sitting there wondering if they're even smart enough almost always are. Read that again if you need to. Sign number 5. You're genuinely curious about stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with your actual life. How do black holes actually work? Why do people do terrible things to each other? What was daily life like actually in ancient Rome? How does music make you feel emotions you can't even put into words? Why do certain words just sound exactly like what they mean? You don't look this stuff up because you have to. You look it up because your brain literally cannot help itself. One tab leads to another, one article leads to 3 more, and suddenly it's 2 a.m. and you're reading about quantum physics, and you have absolutely no idea how you got there. But you're not even mad about it. Low-key, you're kind of into it. Okay, so scientists actually call this openness to experience, and honestly, no cap, it is one of the single strongest predictors of high intelligence ever found in research, like ever. Curious people don't just collect more random information, their brains actually build more complex connections between completely different areas of knowledge, which means the more random stuff you know about, the more powerfully and creatively your brain can actually think. Every single rabbit hole you've ever gone down at 2 a.m. was your brain doing exactly what it was built to do. Every single one. Here's what ties all of this together. Intelligence was never just about grades, never just about test scores, never about who could memorize the most stuff the fastest. For real though, real intelligence shows up in how deeply you feel things, how honestly you question yourself, how genuinely curious you are about the world around you, how relentlessly your brain refuses to shut off even when you are absolutely desperate for it to. Every single thing on this list that you recognized in yourself, the worrying, the overthinking, the self-doubt, the 2 a.m. rabbit holes, the talking to yourself in the car, none of that was a sign that something was wrong with you. It was a sign that something was very, very right. You just never had anyone tell you that before. Until right now.